Are you new to using HubSpot or considering it for your business? It's an amazing tool that touches every aspect of the customer journey and can help make a big difference in how you do business. But it's also not a walk in the park. To be able to use it to its full potential, it often takes time learning and training in how to use it. So a big question for your business might be, do I need to hire a HubSpot administrator?
Here to walk us through it today is one of our expert trainers, Will Smith. Smith, how's it going?
Going well, Austin. Thanks for having me today.
We're very glad to have you. We're curious also to hear your thoughts. Is there a side for yes or no? What are your thoughts on if you need a HubSpot admin?
Well, like so many things in life, the answer would be it depends. So you can have a strong case for yes or no, depending upon what your HubSpot goals are for your business. And a lot of times you can see that based on what HubSpot hubs you actually have. So if you're just using Marketing Hub, then you may not need someone to be your dedicated HubSpot administrator. But if you're using multiple hubs, you may need someone to be able to manage all these different things, all these different moving parts that are happening all at once.
What are some of the bigger signs you see if it's moving more towards a yes that you do need a HubSpot admin?
I would say a lot of times you see an indicator where people are not using HubSpot very effectively. Everyone's kind of using it in their own sort of way. Oh, I like to use this tool, or oh, I don't spend a lot of time over here. And the result of these actions are very inconsistent data because nobody's using it in a consistent way. So there's no one person that's driving this implementation. There's no one person that's driving standards, that's driving expectations. And so a lot of times people have a really nice HubSpot portal, a really nice setup, but their data is just all over the place. So you got to get somebody in there to clean it up, to really establish what needs to happen and how we as an organization are going to use HubSpot.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's one of those things like, how could you let that happen? But I'm sure there's a lot of people in that boat, more than you would think, that are in that boat of everyone's kind of using it differently.
Absolutely. I just cleaned up this place and now you made it a mess. Come on.
So then what would be the need, or what would be the signs that you don't need someone in the role of HubSpot admin?
Signs that you don't need somebody in the HubSpot administration role would be, we have maybe just HubSpot Starter, for example. We're just doing a few things. Maybe we're just starting. A lot of people that I work with, they're just starting with Marketing Hub, nothing else. Maybe they have a smaller team. With smaller teams, it's a lot easier to manage 3 or 4 people. When they get into their all-hands meetings, they can say, hey, listen, let's just agree that we're going to use HubSpot in this fashion, or we're going to use this particular tool in HubSpot in this way. So smaller teams, smaller implementation. Maybe you have people that have worked in HubSpot already on your team, and everyone can just work in a very cohesive way, understanding exactly what we're trying to accomplish with HubSpot.
So if I'm in the boat where I do need to hire a HubSpot admin, how do I know that there's enough work? Is there really 40 hours of work for that person? Or is it something where it's like, I could just kind of put that role onto someone who's already in my team?
Yeah, that's a great question. 40 hours per week can mean different things for different businesses. So I'm going to go back to something I mentioned before, and that is, how are you using HubSpot? Again, if you're only using Marketing Hub, then it's probably not going to take 40 hours a week. But if you're utilizing multiple hubs, if you have multiple, if you're using service hubs, you probably want to relegate that to the service team. So either way, if you really want to know, is there enough time in a week to fulfill this role, I definitely would encourage using time tracking software like ClickUp. And I would also make sure that you're in an environment where your team members feel comfortable with expressing, hey, this is too much. If I say yes to this, I'm going to have to say no to this. And saying no to this means we're going to lose X, Y, and Z, or something's going to get lost in the process.
If I don't know anything about HubSpot as the team leader and I'm looking to hire somebody, how do I know that they, are giving an accurate representation of somebody that will work for my company and they fully understand HubSpot and how it works?
Yeah, that's another great question. Not all HubSpot experience is created equal. HubSpot does have a very built-out HubSpot Academy. And they have certifications that says, yes, this person knows how to do, for example, social media in HubSpot. That's just base level. I would want to know, if I'm hiring somebody for my organization, does this person actually have real-world, point-and-click, actual HubSpot, what I like to call portal experience? HubSpot portal experience. Now, having said that, someone with CRM experience can easily cross over to HubSpot. So if you can't get somebody with exclusive HubSpot portal experience, the next best thing is to look for somebody with CRM business experience.
Gotcha. Are there some other typical CRMs that they might name that we could watch out for?
Yeah, a few other CRMs that would have equivalent experience would be Salesforce, would be Zoho, something like ActiveCampaign, Pipedrive, even MailChimp. They're trying to put together their own little CRM within the tool there. So even something along those lines as well.
You mentioned that a HubSpot admin role may not always need a full 40 hours. Is there anything else that I could add to that person's workload if they're not quite hitting that 40, work well kind of in the space?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it goes back to your business goals and what you're trying to accomplish. Anytime that you're bringing on a new role like this, I always encourage organizations that I work with to create a role-specific growth plan. And that may be helpful in this particular situation. One example would be when you're first getting started with HubSpot, there's some configurations, some setups. You go through an onboarding program. So a lot of that is very work heavy at the beginning. But this isn't going to be a part of your HubSpot administrator's daily, weekly work plan moving forward. So I would say let's avoid overwhelming your new HubSpot administrator right out of the gates, but reference back to that growth plan so that you can steadily add on responsibilities as your needs come up.
Thanks so much, Smith. Thanks for sharing your HubSpot wisdom with us here today, and we'll see you out in the training.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Austin.
The big key that I got from Smith today was to really know what your goals are and then to work back from there. Want some help in your HubSpot strategy and implementation from one of our trainers like Smith? Book a time to talk with us at impactplus.com today.